Hello and welcome to episode 3 of TOVG TV. I am Aaron, your host, and today I'm going to be talking, my first video retro review for TOVG TV. I do retro reviews for the blog, and now it's time for a video review. I got two old Super Nintendo games for my birthday last month, and I decided to talk about them. There are two games that I really only played one of them once when I was younger, and the other one I always wanted to play, but they're fighting games, so when I was younger, I couldn't really get fighting games as much because I was too young. So it's going to talk about that. The first one is Power Rangers Fighting Edition. Look at that. You got the Thunder Megazord just powering Lord Zen right there. And I am a big Power Rangers fan. I started getting back into it when I was in college. Just remembering my childhood. It's my favorite show when I was younger. It's my favorite show really ever. It was a lot of fun to watch when I was a kid. I was obsessed with it. Green Ranger was my favorite. This is kind of giving away the other game I'm going to talk about. But Green Ranger, who didn't like the Green Ranger? I mean, look at him. He had the dagger, he had the shield, he was green. Who didn't like him? But in this game, it's a fighting game, obviously. You have a storyline to play as. You can either play as a Thunder Megazord or the Mega Tigerzord. One of those two, and you play through. You face some Zords, you face Lord Zed, you face a lot of monsters during it, Goldar even, and towards the end it's a surprise that you face off against Ivan Ooze. It's a fun game.
Way to ruin the surprise.
No, it's not a surprise. It's.
You just said.
No, I mean
it's a surprise at the end.
It's a surprise for people who haven't played.
So what if people haven't played and they're gonna pick it up and you just ruin the surprise?
So there's a surprise of who you get to face at the end, but it's a lot of fun. It's harder. I mean, you can beat this game by just jumping and kicking the whole time, which is how I got through Primal Rage. But when you face the last boss, you have to go through a different way and start blocking and everything. But it's a really fun game. There's a multiplayer aspect to it where you can play as everyone but the final boss. That's fun. Each player, it's like the Ninja Megazord's fast. The Shogun Megazord's huge and slow. Each one has their little aspects to it that they utilize, and it gives a little bit of a different feel to it. The one thing I wish they just put a little bit more of an effort into story level selection. It would have been cool to see different monsters in it as opposed to just a couple. I wish they just put a little bit more of an effort into it, but it was a lot of fun for what it was, which was obviously trying to make money off of the most popular kids show ever. So I wish they had a better company. Bandai made it, so I mean they make toys, they make some games, but I wish they put a little bit more effort into it. But it was a lot of fun, and I'd give it for its time. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't bad. It was a fun game to play, fun game to pick up, and I would recommend if you just feel like, if you can find it, just feel like a fun fighting game to play. Now the other game is obviously a Ninja Turtles one. Donatello was always my favorite, so I got him here. This is from the new cartoon. My girlfriend got me this the other day. It's from the new cartoon. It's actually a really good figure. He was always my favorite. I don't know why. Maybe because he was a nerd, but he was always my favorite. So the game I got was Ninja Turtles Fighting Tournament Fighters. I never played this one. This is the one I never played as a kid. It was different. It was more, back when this came out, Turtles was more happy-go-lucky, more jokey. I mean, you had the first movie, but that was more serious. But they still, for the most part, the show, the cartoon, the second movie, the third movie, were more comical. And this game went back to being serious. It's a serious fighting game. It was made by Konami, and it reminds me a lot of Street Fighter. More effort was put into this game than the Power Rangers one by far. The Turtles even yell stuff when they attack, and they even have a jumping uppercut that I think Michelangelo uses. That is obviously out of Street Fighter. You can pick which turtle you play as in the story mode. Then you fight through a group of monsters, and they're monsters that you see more in the comic books than the cartoon, like a giant shark, a robot, and ones like that. And you face all the way to facing Shredder, which is a really hard boss to fight. The difficulty just goes exponentially higher when you face him. And the one funny aspect of it is the only cutscene that you really have in the game. When the fighters come down, they say some stuff to kind of egg you on. They tell you kind of story, but say you're at an area in it, you're at a museum. The cutscene is the blimp, and underneath it it says, "We found out the museum," and it's obviously like horribly translated. Instead of saying "we found the museum," like "we found out the museum," and it's like ridiculous when you see it. But I mean, Super Nintendo games always had some mistakes when translating from Japanese to English, and so this one was no different. I mean, it's a small one. It's not like all your base art belong to us, but it's a little small mistake that you can laugh at every time it shows, because when you're playing a story, it shows a lot. And it was a fun game. Once again, you can have a defensive tactic. You can play one way and kind of get through all the way to Shredder, no problem. I would just stop, block, and when they jump in the air, just hit them. And it would do a good job. I would play Donatello. He had some good moves. Each one had a unique moveset. They put a lot of effort into each character being different than the others. You could tell the effort that was put into it. So I would give for this game, for its time, an 8.5 out of 10. A lot of fun, it was well made. Now, out of these two games, the funny thing is I actually have more fun playing the Power Rangers game with my friends than I do the Turtles game. Like when I played with my friend the other day, and we had a lot more fun playing the Power Rangers game than we did the Turtles game. Maybe it was because this game just didn't have a lot of difficulty to it, and you could just pick it up and play it. But we had more fun playing the Power Rangers game than we did the Turtles game. Both are really good though, but I would choose the Power Rangers game, even though I rated it lower, because it wasn't as well made of a game. It was more fun to play. Maybe because Power Rangers game was made for more kids than teenagers, or maybe it was because Power Rangers was my favorite show when I was younger, and it just helped me recreate those Zord battles when I was a kid that I used to see on TV that I enjoyed so much. I mean, I enjoyed Turtles immensely, but I just enjoyed Power Rangers more. But I would pick up old games if you can. I mean, the Turtles one, it might cost you more if you can find it, but you're not going to find them new. If you find them new, they were over $100. I would not recommend that. That's not a smart use of money. But if you can find them for cheap at a store, go find them. Go pick up both. Try them out, especially like old fighting games. I would recommend them, and I had a lot of fun playing it. So that's all I have today for episode 3. Thank you for watching. Next episode will not be a retro review, but it will be a normal review. I hope you enjoyed this one. Once again, like the Facebook page, follow the blog, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Pass this along to your friends. Hopefully you aren't disappointed. I'm not disappointed with this. I hope you're not. I'd like to thank my videographer for this whole thing, Shelby. You see her names in the credits. I'd like to thank her for this. She does a tremendous job doing this. Takes her time out to help me film these, and I appreciate it a lot. So we'll see you next time on episode 4. Once again, I'm Aaron for Time Out Video Games. This is TOVG TV. We'll see you next time on this channel.